What's goody, everybody? This is your girl, Queen Pope, Hard Truth, Easy Lies. And yes, once again, I am back coming with the facts. And today we're going to jump right into it. I just want to talk about trust. Trust and being trustworthy. Trust after something has happened in your relationship where you agreed to forgive and to move past that and go ahead and be with that person. When you are in a relationship and something happens and you agree to be with that person, if you're not completely over what they've done, like if they've cheated on you, or you feel like they've cheated on you, or you feel like they've went and was dating or seeing other people during a time in your relationship, but yet you came back to them and you forgave them and you decided to be with them. And this works from both ends, from men, women, heterosexual, homosexual, I don't care what kind of relationship you in, period. This works across the board the same way. If my man cheat on me and I say, I'm upset or whatever whenever it happens, but I still turn around and be like, well, I'm going to be with you. I feel like we can get past this. I'm going to be with you. But every other couple days you bringing it up, or every time y'all have an argument, you finding ways to bring up what that person did. Pretty much keeping a counter injury the whole time. So you are saying you forgive the person, and then on the other tip, you're still not over whatever has gone on. So it's a question you need to ask yourself: will I ever get over this? Will I ever get over whatever my partner did to me? Am I completely over it? And if I'm not, if I still love this person, how can I get past it without consistently making them suffer, the burdens or the grief of your heart not completely being healed? Because if you forgive somebody, I feel like the slate starts clean there. We forgave each other, we elevated, the slate starts clean there. So if you're feeling like, oh, okay, well, now every time you do something that reminds me of where we've been, you're automatically thinking is that's like what we call in psychology a scotoma. Like when something scares you or something like messes you up mentally, and now all of a sudden it's like every time you see that thing, that it's just going to automatically remind you of that. And that is also a very interesting point on how people carry past relationship trash and past pathology from their childhood, all of that into their relationship. And that's also a way how people kind of get in their own way in relationships because of things that they've been through. They get into a place in their mind where it's like, oh no, I've seen this before, so this is what it's gotta be. And you become kind of like paranoid and you move in an assumptuous way. For me, I have been in a mindset where I forgave but kept a counter injury. I have been in a mindset in a relationship where it's like, okay, I'm gonna forgive this person. Ain't no sense in keep bringing it up because all that is just digging the wound. And one of the most despicable things I'm sorry to have to do in a relationship is to keep having to prove to somebody they can trust you. I feel that makes it very, very uncomfortable to be in a relationship. If you have to constantly be telling someone or convincing someone to trust you, that's a headache. Not trusting, that's a headache. Having to convince someone that to trust you is a headache. So it's like, for me, and I feel like some people can agree with this, no non-disclosure, but you don't have to. I rather have trust over love, because I feel that if I have trust in my relationship, that's what's gonna give me a peace of mind. Having trust in my relationship is what's gonna keep us both sane, is what's gonna keep us both getting along. And it's gonna keep us less distracted from things that can either be a snare in our relationship or that can throw us off from what we need to be focused on spiritually, financially, as far as our health and all of that. So trust is huge. Trust is absolutely, positively, huge, like gigantor, in a relationship. So ask yourself, are you the untrustworthy? Are you the trusting? Are you the paranoid? Are you the non forgiving but saying you're forgiving person? What person are you in your relationship when it comes to trust? Are you just one of those people where it's like you just don't trust nobody, period, and that's just how you are? That's also very dangerous, because it's like eventually you gotta trust somebody, and if you don't trust your spouse who's with you majority of the time, if you're not alone, and even with family, friends, whoever, that's who you're with. If you can't trust that person, it's not gonna work. Like, some might think I'm wrong, but I just can't see a relationship working without trust. Period. And understanding based on that trust. When it comes to trust, that's gonna solidify mad understanding off the rip, if you ask me. Even if a person is doing something in their integrity, that counts as trust. Because sometimes your spouse might not have to always tell you they did some shit to make sure that it's taken care of. Because it's like they may have been wanting to protect you, or you, like, it's so crazy because you gotta really trust your partner's movements if you're gonna be in a relationship. Like, you might be thinking that your spouse is going out and doing something, but all the while they setting you up a surprise birthday party, or they setting you up something special. It's and I'm gonna say trust also have to do with appreciation, patterns, and ultimately your mental when it comes to getting past something. Like, what's your cap on how bad something can be before you actually leave? That's A. B, are you considering the real circumstances that went on around a situation before you leave? Where your mindset was, where that person's mindset was, what the status of the relationship was. Were you in full agreement? Were you not in full agreement? Problem solving questions, critical thinking questions, the type of questions that we used to go over in school. But and also using I statements like, well, I felt like this when you did that. I felt like this when you had went to the store, and maybe it had put me in a bad headspace because you had got missing one time before, and you was down there at Shaniqua house. You know how we be. But this time you was actually giving me my favorite cake, and I feel so silly right now, so I just want to say, oh, I'm sorry. Nah, but it really be like that. I feel like we as individuals, like, just breaking it down, because I'm gonna go ahead and bring this to a close. We as individuals in our spirit, we can feel when someone or something is truly for us or against us. It is then up to us to decide in our spirit, our God-given inclined spirit that God gives us, to differentiate between good and bad, spoiled and evil, bitter and sweet. That's when we can decide for ourselves. And that also would hone in with how strong your discernment is when it comes to your love life, and when it comes to just decision making in general within your life. Every decision isn't easy. I'm a spirit being, so I say pray in Jesus' name if you need answers about anything. But also never forget that effort is applied. Anything worth having at all is worth the effort. Don't be afraid to write down your pros and your cons list. Don't be afraid to have standards. And don't be afraid to tune into Hard Truth, Easy Lies with your girl, Queen Pope, the next time I'm on here. I'll get ready to slide, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Peace.